Good afternoon. Once again, we're here on Partnership Realty. My name is Eulises Ibarra, and I'm the loan officer, branch manager, Eulises Ibarra, for U.S. Mortgage. And the reason this class is, to talk a little bit more about FHA and the things that we can do to increment and possible for the client to qualify a lot more money for what they currently qualify right now. So let's talk a little bit about FHA. I know we have a full class here, but we're going to try to do, short and understandable for all the audience. The one that had the experience and the one that had, just signed up recently at any real estate company, especially here in Partnership. FHA basically is a government loan that is backed up by the government, and the beauty of this loan is like you only need 3.5% to put as a down payment, and not only you need 3.5% down, but the seller, if it's negotiable, they can pay up to 6% of the closing costs, which majority of the time is more than enough to for the purpose of making the loan. And in top of that, the 3.5% can come from gift, a family member, and a 401k. So basically, it's 100% giftable. So which is great. Okay, for me, that's one of the best loans out there, especially for primary buyers. And even though if this is not your first house, like for example, we just recently closed a deal that a person had an FHA loan, bought a property for $300,000, sold it for $450,000, and then the day after they were qualified for another FHA, and they did another FHA, just putting 3.5% down, and pretty much that person pocket in his pocket $150,000, which they might do something else down the road, or they might buy a second, like an investment or a second home, whatever they might want to do. But it's not only for primary home buyers, but it can also be for second time or third time, but you can only have one at a time. There's some scenarios that you can have two at a time, but it would, a little more particular in different cases, okay? So the beauty of this part is us here in U.S. Mortgage, we can go up to 580, as low as 580 FICO score. So a lot of you that do rentals, you understand that basically out there, you're gonna take a client to a place to rent, and they might ask you for 640, even 660, a lot of them, or higher perhaps. So with 580 and very little money down payment, that person can qualify to do an FHA loan. So another reason that we have a lot of realtors said, hey, but I own my own company. Or for example, I'm a realtor, I'm self-employed. Can I do an FHA? I'm like, absolutely. As long as we can verify your income in the past 2 years, either if you're an employee or you're self-employed, you're more than welcome to buy. So that's something that is available for pretty much anybody there, all right? And just have to make sure that it's a primary resident, so you're gonna live on the property. So that's the beauty of that. It's a very easy loan to qualify, very friendly, a lot of good things. Like for example, let's say you don't have the 580 or you don't have no credit at all. We might use alternative credit. What is alternative credit? Alternative credit is the rent, that it has to be verifiable through checks, maybe the utilities like water, electricity, maybe you have business with a jewelry store, and that jewelry store is financing you a specific jewel or something, and that's a payment plan that we can verify. That's also an alternative credit. So even if you have zero credit, there's alternative credit that we can use and get you qualified, which way better than renting, okay? And like I was always telling you, 3.5% down is a magnificent down payment. Most of the time, since the rent is so high at the moment, you actually put more money down as a tenant than if you become a homeowner with a 3.5%. All right. So that's something to just to all the realtors out there, or all the homeowners that are listening to this YouTube channel, understand that don't, try to reach out to me or one of your local realtors and, let us know that we can help you, because don't think because your credit is bad, you cannot do it. We can help you walk through so that way you can achieve and become a homeowner, which is one of the best things you can do. All right. So the trick is not really a trick. This always existed. A lot of realtors or a lot of home buyers, they might think that, oh, I can only buy a single family home. That's incorrect. You can actually buy a duplex, a triplex, up to a fourplex. In particular, a duplex, we can use the rent that second unit is bringing to get you qualified and make the qualification higher. So perhaps somebody that is approved for 300 or 350,000, we can bring it to another 100,000 or 80,000, depending on the situation and depending on the rent that particular property is bringing. Okay, so at the same token, you have a mortgage, you have a tenant, and you only have to put 3.5% down. You don't have to come with 20 or 30% down as an investor. So you becoming a homeowner, and at the same time, you becoming a landlord, which is practically the best of both worlds. So since the houses are a little more, increase more than the typical, but this is something that we might think out of the box. It can help you, your buyer, and it can also help the realtor to locate a property a lot faster. Okay, and there's different, layers of loan that maximum that we can lend, which you can call me and I can go in details. Either you as a realtor or the home buyer that is watching this video can call me and I can walk them through to help them. Okay, once we go to a triplex or a fourplex, it's a little bit different, but we can definitely also make it work. But just keep in mind that unit that property needs to have at least one empty unit that it has to be vacant, because that's a property that you're gonna, that's the unit that you're actually gonna be able to live. Okay, so this is something for you realtors out there and homeowners. Make sure that you're talking to your realtor. Call me, I'll walk you through. There's families out there that they were looking for a specific price, just to mention one, maybe 150 to 100, and on the same family, somebody else was looking for the same amount of money, and it was a little more challenge to find, but maybe you guys can get together and buy, and at the same token, buy, it will be different in different households, but at the same time, we'll be buying in one location, but it will be achievable, and you only have to put 3.5% down too. So there's my website right there, EulisesIbarra.com. It's very easy, friendly, very easy to do. You can upload the documents at any time. For you realtors, it's actually very user-friendly, because depending how many clients do you have with me at the moment, you can see each specific client that is either ready to go to closing, or if the appraisal's already been ordered. If by any chance you have documents, you can see the documents that the client has uploaded. So it's very easy and friendly for you to manage, depending if you want to, let's say at 3 o'clock in the morning, you just want to see what's going on, and of course everybody's sleeping at that time, but you as a realtor, can see what's going on. And if you have a client that is willing to apply on a Saturday, on a Sunday, or whenever, they just call my website and automatically, we'll get you an approval super fast. Okay, so we're gonna do another class regarding the requirements of documentation, but I'm just gonna go in a little bit of details, like, you need the typical purchase contract, the income support, like W-2, pay stubs, the last 2 tax return. And also I wanna mention too, a lot of students are graduating right now, and I have a bunch of realtors just reach out to me and say, hey, we have so-and-so have reached out to me, but they just don't have 2-year history of working, but they've been studying for the past more than 2 years, and they just graduated as a nursing or any other field. I'm like, hey, listen, we're more than welcome. As long as they have an offer letter, we can utilize that and we can get you qualified because they're gonna have a fixed income. Maybe that person doesn't have a 2-year history, but it has a more than a 2-year history in schooling and working, on basically on that field. So it's definitely out there that there's a lot of benefits that this FHA has, that it would bring a lot of good things to your client. So have them call me or have them call you. You send it over to me. We're definitely going to help them out. And especially in this time of the year that there's a lot of graduation going on, make sure that you're surrounded with people that they're doing it, because they might have, maybe they're not a specific person, but maybe they have a friend that already have a job and they already have an offer letter, and they don't want to keep renting. They actually want to buy a property, okay? So that's something very successful and very important, for you realtors and home buyers to know. So once we have the application signed, we send it to the underwriter. The underwriter is the person who approved the loan. From there, we also send the appraisal at the same time. We also get insurance, and that it will come from the homeowner. And once we have everything together, we get the famous CTC, which is clear to close, which is the favorite word that everybody wants to hear, either homeowner or the realtor. And then we go to closing, everybody's happy, we exchange keys, and start a new chapter in life. So, which is an amazing. The beauty of being a homeowner at this point and utilizing the FHA is because it gives you so much flexibility. It gives you so much, in other words, if you're willing to do it, we're definitely gonna be able to help you to achieve that. There's nothing out there stopping you, only yourself. So be proactive and call your realtor, call me. Let's make it work. Let's help you and down this road from A to Z. I also want to mention that we have some other offers and some other programs very good, that like no income verification for the investors, bank statement for self-employed that they don't want to show tax return. We can go with the bank statements. There's a lot of products. And recently in the previous class, we had another realtor say, oh my God, but there's so many things that is out there. It's kind of hard to memorize it. I'm like, the only thing you have to memorize is my phone number. As long as you have my phone number regarding the financing, you call me and I'm your backup. It's the same thing if you have the backup of the person who's gonna do the inspection, the person who's gonna do the appraisal, the title. Listen, you don't need to know it all. You just need to know the phone number of that specific person, and we answer for you. And just don't jump on it and start talking to the client without knowing. Just call us. We do a 3-way, and we're gonna help you from A to Z, either you and your client. Okay, so this is going to be a short class, because I'm going to answer offline a couple questions here, since we have a full classroom here, and we're going to go from there. So once again, my name is Eulises Ibarra. I'm here in Partnership Realty. We're here to help you. Thank you.